Likutei Halachos Nefilas Apaim Halacha Daled Sif Chaf. And after mitzvah spara that we are doing the mitzvahs of Kodesh Baruch Hu, even though there's an inner contradiction, inner paradox, and we just go over the paradox with the Emunah Pshuto. The next step in the ascension is Parshas HaChodesh. Ki kol zeu sod Kiddush HaChodesh. All this Mahalach is the mystery behind the sanctification of the Chodesh, which is a totally incomprehensible fact of supernatural koyach of the Torah. You know, the Kiddush HaChodesh, this is the Chodoshin. Shabbos is Kriya v'Kayom. Shabbos is Kodesh Baruch Hu says when Shabbos is, and that's it. It's Mekadosh HaShabbos. However, all the Yomim Tovim are toloi on when Rosh Chodesh is. Rosh Chodesh is toloi in Beis Din. And he says, Hashem tikri'u otam b'moyadam. So the Torah says, Al tikri oisom, don't call them at their proper time. Ela atem b'moyadam. You know, that you will call them, you will decide what time the moyadim are going to be. How? By determining when the Kiddush HaChodesh is going to be. This is atem. It says afilu shogigim. Even you made a mistake, an honest mistake. Afilu mezidim. Even you bechavana call the Rosh Chodesh in a different day than it should be. It's called the way that you say. So there is a shaila in the Gemara. What happens? You know, when you know what happened was that the Eidim would come, the witnesses would come to the Beis Din. And we said we saw the Chiddush Levana, we saw the first evidence of a new Chodesh. And the Beis Din would ask them, questions. How did you see it? Did you see it like this? Did you see it like that? And when they ascertained that they really saw it, they're Mekadosh the Chodesh. Okay. What happens if there were no witnesses? What happens if there were no witnesses? So automatically, if there are no witnesses, the next day becomes Rosh Chodesh. But the fact that the witnesses did not see it didn't mean that it didn't happen. It just said, Lo Hayinu Elo Rayo, they just didn't see it. So the question is, what happens to the moon, or what happens when Rabbanan paskins that the next day is going to be Rosh Chodesh, when really the Levana was already showed, was shown, but nobody saw it, or nobody got to Yerushalayim to give Eidos the day before. The answer, the Gemara says, the Levana moves. The Levana moves according to the way the Rabbanan paskin. The psak of Rabbanan determines the teva, not the other way around. This is something which is totally beyond comprehension. This says, "Zesoid Kiddush HaChodesh." This is the rectification of the Levana from the damage of the Levana. The sun and the moon were created equal. The two great luminaries. But it is through the indictment of the Yarech that said, it is not possible the two kings will use the same crown. That caused the diminishing of the Levana. That's the sort of Yetzirah, that's the sort of the Bechira. Everything is embedded in this inyan. That mitzvah Kiddush HaChodesh, it is through the mitzvah of Kiddush HaChodesh. This is what we're doing in order to rectify the shrinkage of the Levana. It all comes from that principle that we stated before. That a person is zoiche to attain these spiritual hasogas, that they are a difa v'ma'akim, on this principle of, the surge of the intellect to know, and the boundary, the harnessing factor of the kesem. B'chinas mati v'lo mati, ze tachlis ha'yediyah shel le'onedo, ze zoche le'malos b'gimas ha'levana. That is the thing that rectifies and fixes the levana shel b'chinas Kiddush HaChodesh. And the Rebbe explains why is that. So he says there's a notion like this. Ki chama v'levana, initially, b'chlal, oiram nimshach mibchinas ora ein sof. Their physical light is really a manifestation of or ein sof, shu lemala min nefesh ruach v'neshama. כמו שכתוב בתורה. כי משם עיקר האור שכל המאור שבכל האוימות. This is the source of all the light and all kinds of light in all האוימות. ומחמאז שזהו אי אפשר להשיג כמעט יש פני הבחינוס הנ"ל שהם הרדיפה ומעכב, and since that particular light is not attainable except through these two בחינות of the הרדיפה ומעכב, על כן משני בחינוס אלו, from these two things, רדיפה ומעכב, נמשך ונשתל של בחינת שני המאורס הגדולים. The two great luminaries, manifested from these two things, Shem Chomo v'Levana, the sun and the moon. שהם נמשכים משני הבחינות, שהם בחינות הרדיפו ומעכב, ששניהם נכללים יחד. שעל ידי שניהם די כמשיגים אור לנצח בחינות מטה ולא מטה. He says like this, כי Chomo, the sun represents בחינות ידיעה, which is the radifa, that the quest to know, to find out, to ascertain, to be aware. Hainu radifa samoichin. V'levana, on the other hand, u'eder idea, it represents the lack of knowledge. Shu b'chinas ha'me'akev, that is the harness. That's the thing that stops the idea. Ki shemesh yodo mevoy. The sun is aware of when it comes in, when it goes out. The Levana is not aware. There's no awareness in the Levana. As Chazal said, the Chama represents the intellectual property of knowledge, of knowing. Shemesh Yoda Mevoyer. But the Levana does not represent the lack of knowledge. That is the thing that holds back. Really, they are both equal. They are both of equal importance. At the root, everything is one. The chasing and the harnessing, the gas and the brake, the root is one. It's knowing and not knowing. Kaldei Shneim Yachad is dafka through the combination of both of them. Masagim Or Ein Sof. Al Ken Achama V'Levona Nimshachim Mishna B'chinas Anal Nivru Shneim Shavim. Shneim Gdolim, they were both great. Ki Be'em Shneim Shavim, Machar Shneim Yachad Daika Masagim Or Ein Sof, because it is through the combination of both of them that you get Or Ein Sof. So obviously, a novel where the protagonist and the antagonist are equal is a gripping novel. But when in a novel you have Superman fighting an ant, there's not a lot of drama in there. There's not a lot of tension in there. It's like you're not sitting there, biting the feelings all the way down to your elbow. It's like you're pretty sure how it's going to end up.
Oh, so funny. There goes the end.
There goes the end. The Iker Inyan is that the brake and the pedal, the braking power, has to measure up to the acceleration power. Now they have to match. So Shnei Me'oros HaGdolim have to be created equal. But it is through the indictment of the moon. שמה אי אפשר לשני מלוכים שלו בכסר אחד, כי נזכרנו בחמו פוגמו פגם שפגמו אדם הראשון. It is through this envy. It's a lot more fun to go out and find out things than to be the sourpuss that says, no, to be the party pooper. No, I'm sorry, you can't do that. The neighbor said you cannot make any noise after 11. It's like, it's a lot more fun, to go and to this and to that. It's like this is where the fun is. This is the same pgam of Adam Arishon. He didn't want to wait for 1 hour to attain what it is that he wanted to attain. If he would have waited 1 hour, Shabbos would come in, he would have known everything. Kadosh Baruch Hu would have let him eat from Etz Hadas, everything is okay. He wanted to see immediately that which he had no permission to look at. And that ruined and drove down his Soga completely. The Chama is the positive, that's the knowledge. The Ur Shel Levono Nimshach B'chinas HaMe'akev, and the light of Levono comes from that thing that holds back. And that's why he didn't want to believe they're going to be equal. He's going to be the star. I'm forever going to be the one who has to hold him back. They're both equally important. And this is the thing that drove it to become belittled. And that's why Tikkun HaLevana is to fulfill it for the Pgam. I would like to stop now because other people will come in and